People who try to be organized, they end up the most stressed.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be organized all the time,
you know what I mean?
That's exactly how it is.
So I like some structure, but not like that rigid. What's the hardest part of shifting from a disorganized routine to one that feels more structured? I love it. Listen, but I'm a cool nerd. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I like the nerds. Well, they're welcome.
I had the nerd in me. Yeah. I wasn't.
We're cool nerds.
You don't want to get a bus. I'm good with a car right now. I'm good with a car. I ain't trying to get no van.
The cool RJ, like having the multiple women, or
that
just
that foolish RJ. Man.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Inside of the Thread. Today's episode is titled Order By, and today we'll be going over, getting into the power of structure and organization, how creating order in our lives can help us find clarity and peace. Now, for the tech heads, Order By is a SQL clause. It's used to sort query results by one or more columns, either ascending or descending order. In short, it helps the database structure everything else. You know what I mean? Structure all of the chaos. So, and today we're going to be applying that same situation to life. I have Ricky Protho here, also known as RJ. Ricky is a father of two very intelligent boys. He is a senior system administrator with his company. He actually is in the Air Force Reserves, and he is pursuing his master's degree in cybersecurity and information assurance. In my opinion, Ricky, or RJ, has a little bit of information about this concept, and he's a human. So he's experienced life, and I'm pretty sure he can help us shine some light on how that things apply. To get things started, we all know we're going to start with our icebreaker, which is say ah. So RJ, pick one: a joke, a quote, or your biggest fear.
I'm gonna have to go with biggest fear.
Okay. Let me know. Let me hear it.
I think my biggest fear. I don't really have too many fears. But
okay.
I think my biggest one is probably my son's failing in this world today, because the world that we in, it's a cold world. You never know what they're gonna run into. You never know the obstacles. You never know, like what may affect your child's mental health. You never know anything. Yeah. So I think that might be my biggest fear. So I try to guide them. Yeah. And lead them to the right direction. Mm-hmm. Put them on the right path.
Okay. Cool. So you spend a lot of time with your kids.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely. they daddy.
Got two twins. Yeah, most definitely.
They twins. Oh wow. Double trouble. How'd you feel when you first found out you were having twins?
When I say twins, like they look like me.
Oh, okay. No, your twins.
I call them twins.
Oh, okay. I thought they were.
They look alike.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
No, you good. Yeah.
All right. So, RJ, how we like to do the podcast here is broken down into roughly like 6 segments. So the first segment is, of course, the icebreaker. And the next segment is, we like to call it the Intranet. So the Intranet, obviously, you're familiar. It's the external network. So how we apply that in this podcast, we look at the Intranet as those external factors that we interface with or experience on a daily, before it gets to the next phase, which I'll explain that to you once we get there. So in this context, as it applies to this episode, we're going to be focusing on how external chaos, distractions, or societal expectations can impact our personal organization and peace. So the first question I have for you is, how does external chaos affect our ability to create order in our lives? Or in your life? Let's make it personal.
Okay, personal. In my life, man, I feel like you can go anywhere from, when it comes to external chaos, you talk about family conflict. You can talk about sudden life changes. You can talk about it's so much stuff that's on the outside that can affect decision making, plans, and all that. So I feel like with me, I have one thing I consider external conflict. Mm-hmm. I have two son mothers. Okay. They live in different areas. Okay. When I say it's complicated, sometimes it get complicated as far as trying to get them together, bring them down. And when they come with me on every other weekend. So that's probably like that affects me. Yeah. To a certain extent. And when it comes to external chaos, like it messes with your mental sometimes. Right. So when you feel like you can't be there but you want to be there. But you know, and then I live an hour away from one and an hour and 45 away from the other. So,
okay.
I mean, that's probably
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. So, has it been a situation where you sat down with your kids' mothers and was like, hey, you know, I understand both, you know, we got two different women here, but at the end of the day, I want my kids to be in each other's lives. Have you guys had that conversation, or how'd that turn out?
I've had that conversation, but I ain't gonna say it went well. It went well on one side. The other side, it's a whole story behind that, but yeah, I tried that conversation.
Gotcha.
We came to like an agreement to a certain extent, but it's still kind of difficult.
Yeah,
I'm an active dad. I'm not
for sure.
You know, deadbeat. So
yeah,
I want to be there. I want to be a mentor to them. So
I got you.
I had that conversation though. So.
So is it something that you would consider addressing again to kind of pretty much not necessarily just solely for your benefit, but ultimately it'll bring kind of order to your life, but also give your sons a sense of consistency of being around each other and not necessarily having that, you know, those, you know, barriers to kind of keep them from hanging out with each other or just being around each other simply because, you know, the adults in the situation are kind of like,
I feel like I'm definitely going to address it again.
Okay.
I want to sit down because I want to have like some type of structure going on with them. Like I want them to be tight. I don't want them to be separated. I don't want them to be not knowing each other. Yeah. So most definitely, yeah. Because, I mean, like I said, it gets complicated. It gets like decision making. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to do, but I can't do because I have one this day and I have one that day, and it'd be like it's all over. So it's kind of like I said, mentally draining.
Gotcha.
And it messes up. Like if I plan something, my plans might go left because I have to go do this, or it might go. Yeah, they might go as planned, but that's rare.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the next question. What are some of the pressures society places on us to be always organized or always productive?
Some of the pressures. I mean, society basically, they have this theory of if everything has to be organized, it's gonna be perfect. But to me, no, it's not. People who try to be organized, they end up the most stressed. Yeah. If you're trying to be organized all the time, you can't have a clear mental. You can't think about what you got planned for that day because you're thinking about this, and this. So, right. Nah, I mean, I feel like the most organized people be the most stressed. They have the most issues. That's how I look at it.
Like for me personally, like I like structure, but I also feel like say for instance, if I'm going out like one weekend and if it seems like if I over plan it, it don't necessarily go as planned or as I planned it, but it seemed like the weekends that, you know, I'm like, let's just go on a whim, you know, sporadic, have the most fun. You know what I mean? Just have the most fun. So I like some structure, but not like that rigid. Hey, it got to be XYZ. It got to be just like this.
Like a baseline.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like I understand that I want to do this at some point during the trip, or I want to do this at some point during the week or whatever like that. But it's kind of hard for me to, I guess I could ask you that. So whenever anybody ever asked you, okay, what's your 2 to 5 year plan?
Yeah, they asked me that, but to me, you can't really. I live like in the present. Like, I live right then and there. I have a plan for like maybe 3 months out, but nobody knows what's going to happen. Right. 2 to 5 years. Like considering you got presidential elections, you got all kind of stuff. You never know what might happen. You got job losses. You got like say somebody they making all kind of money right here, then they lose their job. They got a plan to go this and do this and that.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
That's true.
Yeah, so no, I don't make 2 to 5 year plans.
Yeah.
I have goals, but no.
That's how I feel. Like I could tell you what I want to do in 2 to 5 years or where I want to be. Yeah. I can't tell you the direct path that I'm gonna have to get there. So is that something that you can, I guess, agree with or?
I can agree with it.
Okay.
I can agree with it only because if you have a direct path, you still gonna like obstacles.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna
deviate. Tumble over some stuff. It ain't gonna straight path.
Yeah. I get it. All right, so how can we maintain our own structure despite external distractions or expectations?
How can we maintain
our own structure?
You gotta have a clear mind.
Okay.
A clear mind. Like you said, you can't just be completely unorganized, just have a baseline.
Right.
You know what you're trying to do. You know the plan. You know what's going on. But you also know that there's going to be there's a possibility of an interruption. So I feel like just keeping a positive mindset.
Right.
Keep a positive mindset and keep striving. And
it brings me back to another tech term. So whenever we're talking about the disaster recovery plan, so the disaster recovery plan pretty much just sets you up to plan for those inconveniences, right? So we're assessing where we want to go, and then we're also assessing what could potentially happen and interfere or hold us up from getting there, and then we're gonna plan to pivot at those points, right? So it kind of goes back to what you're saying. When things pop up, we just got to be ready to roll with the punches.
Gotta be ready.
gotta
be ready.
Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah.
So I get that. So moving on, we're going to go into the buffering segment. So the buffering is pretty much that pause after we've interfaced or connected with those external factors, and our brain is trying to process it just before it settles, right? So in this episode, we're going to be focusing on the difficulty in transitioning from chaos to order and the pushback we might get from others or ourselves when trying to create structure. Right. So what's the hardest part of shifting from a disorganized routine to one that feels more structured?
The hardest part to one that feels more structured? I would have to say the hardest part probably would be if we're going from disorganized to a structure. To me, it's going to be you have a path to follow. So when you go into a structure, like you have in order, you have you know what's going on, you know what you got planned, you know, right. So if you're going from I can do this whenever I want, or I can do this to get there, whatever, I can go around, I don't know, I feel like that the hardest part might be actually putting in the effort.
I can see that
to a certain extent. I mean, that's how I look at it. I feel like that because me, I have for instance, I have a plan. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna get my life together. I'm gonna go to work. Okay. But a part of me be, oh, nah, Rick, you gonna lay right here for a minute. You gonna lay right here for a little minute. Then time start going by. It's like, okay, I had this plan. Like I'm trying to build some type of time in the future. So I'm like, damn. I'm sorry. I'm like, I done messed up. So I'm working on it right now. I'm working on time management. That's one thing I'm working on. So I think the hardest part, like you said, might be to actually get up and do what you got planned. Right.
I want to stay there. So you say you working on your time management. I think that can be one of the factors that hinders us or kind of disrupts when we're trying to organize our life. Like say if we're trying to implement a new habit, right? So we're saying every day, I want to start working out in the morning. So every day I want to get up at 5:30 to work out, right? But I'm used to getting up at 7:30, 8 o'clock. That 5:30 gonna be like, whoo,
man, gonna struggle.
But it's those, and that doesn't necessarily have to align with time management, but it's those things that we have to, those new habits that we have to learn and implement into our everyday, and that consistency of just constantly redoing it. Because if I'm going to commit to doing this, I got to get up every day, set 3 and 5 alarms 2 and 3 hours early. Like, develop a pattern. You know what I mean? Because what they said, take 7 days or a few weeks to create a habit. Yeah. And so it's something like that. I don't know. And so I was like, that's part of like bringing that structure back to like that. The things like that will cause you to be like, I can just stay where I was, but it'll it'll hinder you from growth though.
Yeah, it definitely does. It hinders you from growth. But like you said, you have those days you be like, man, I was doing better like this. But I'm trying to be a better person, trying to be a little bit, just a tiny bit more organized. But
cause that's
I be thinking, shoot, man.
I feel like sometimes we're literally our biggest enemy when it comes to growth, because yeah, a lot of people can be in our ear saying like, oh, you can't do this, or you really gonna do that, and then a lot of people hold on to like what you used to do.
Right.
So it's like that could get in your head and you like, maybe I can't do this. Hold on. I mean, if I'm fine, nobody ever questioned or whether I was doing right or wrong when I was doing it like this, so why change it? You know what I mean? Kind of like that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach. What you feel about that?
I mean, I have that thought, but deep down in my head, I'd be like, I know I need to fix this. This workaround might not work. It's working for what I'm doing now.
Right.
But it might not work later on. So it's like, maybe I should try to change it.
Right.
Yeah,
so what do you do when you have those thoughts? Like what when you face that inner thought? Because a lot of people will push that to the side, like, nah. Like,
man, that inner thought, it go in one ear and I think about it for 2 seconds. I'll be like, well, shoot, I'll try again tomorrow. So I don't know.
Hey,
it wasn't bad. That's why I said I'm trying to work on it.
But the thing is, it's about addressing it, right? Yeah. The point of the podcast, Inside the Threat, addressing that enemy within, because we're really our own. Like, not necessarily saying we're solely dependent, because I believe in God. I lean on Him. I do all things through Him. But we're our biggest enemy whenever it comes to people doubting and questioning us. Like, right. It's not necessarily what you say. Don't get me wrong. If you say it enough, I may believe it, but at the end of the day, I still have a choice of, you know what? I don't think that's true. I can move the other way, or I can think something else, you know what I mean? Or place myself around these other people that speaking life into me instead of killing like my dreams or plans, or just belittling me, saying that I can't change and be better when I know I can. You know what I mean?
Placing yourself around positivity and somebody who's going to look to actually tackle the goal versus
for sure.
Which I had. I mean, I was around. Yeah. I was around people like that, man. When I was a little bit younger.
Yeah. Man, talk about it.
I was around people that was doing stuff and they been doing. You know me. I wasn't growing.
Right.
I wasn't growing. I had a regular job. I had a job at a warehouse at first. I mean, I worked a warehouse job throughout college or whatever.
Okay.
And I kept seeing the same people, whatever. They was fine.
Yeah.
In there. And I was sitting there thinking, to me, I mean, it was paying the bills, so I was like, this ain't bad for them. But then I seen no room for growth.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, I had developed kind of a bad reputation at work, because I was one of the ones I do enough just to get by.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then like you said, as you mentioned, I was in the military. I went on a deployment. The military actually changed it. It changed everything, because before then I was talking about being a health coach and all kinds of stuff. Then I scored high on my cyber part, the ASVAB, and then ended up in IT. Just started chasing that route. Then I went on that deployment, gained a lot of knowledge. I was like, okay, and I was surrounded by people. I was surrounded by nerds. I don't want to use that term.
It. Listen, but I'm a cool nerd.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I like the nerds. Well, they're welcome.
I had the nerd in me.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
We're cool nerds. You know what I mean? We ain't your typical nerd. That's what it is.
I had it in me when I was young. Like I was really smart. And then
don't say was. You still smart?
Okay, I'm still smart.
Come on.
But then I felt like people was judging me because of how I guess interacted with the nerds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call them nerds. And I wasn't over there with them doing this, and this, but instead I was in my books. And then I started taking that and straying away from it. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be cool. So I would get out of AP classes and all that, and I would find some way to get out of it. Until, like you said, I went through that rough patch where I was working at a warehouse and going to school and this, and I was like, man, I need to be smart. Like, I got to figure something out.
I need a book.
I need a book, and I need to figure something out. And then I was like, okay, that's when I finally started using my brain a little more. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a long path, like going from staying stagnant and finally trying to grow.
Gotcha.
Which that's what I'm doing now. So, and I feel better about myself. I feel like
I love that.
I got a better future plan for my kids.
Yeah.
So,
So do you feel like you sometimes fall back into that habit of like dumbing yourself down to kind of play it safe around certain people, or you, like you say, you feel better about yourself? Are you confident in like, yeah, I know a little bit. I don't mind. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm pretty confident now.
Okay.
Like when I get around some of my homies, they not the brightest crayon in the box.
Okay.
I hope they see this.
Hey, he's talking to you.
They talk about like kind of, I would classify it as a dumb decision that they be making now. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of glad they call me nerd.
No, I love it.
I'm kind of glad I'm not making that decision.
Yeah.
Because I look at it, they still in the same spot. which I done told them that, so that's why I don't mind saying it. I tell them y'all still in the same spot. Yeah. I don't see nobody growing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I got that. And that pretty much answered the next question, which was, have you ever faced resistance when trying to impose order in your life, either internally or from others? So that pretty much answered that question. Yeah. So we're going to move on to the next segment, which is tap intranet. So intranet, you already know, is the internal network. So it's that point after we've interfaced with those external factors, our brain has started to process it, took a minute to process it, and now we've internalized it, and it's beginning to change us, whether for the good or for the bad. We might have picked up some weird habits that we may want to break, some from that perspective. Right. And so the focus of it, of tap intranet in this episode, is the mental and emotional benefits of creating order, clarity, stress reduction, and peace of mind. So the first question would be, how does having a routine or structure help you maintain your peace of mind?
I feel like it helps me maintain my peace of mind because I have, like you said, it's an order. I know what I'm working toward. I know what my plan is. I know, and I know, like, I can pinpoint that one thing, even though, like I said, you're gonna have obstacles. Right. Versus my mind all over the place. Like, I have a habit of planning this and doing this, but I'm also doing this, and I'm halfway done with this, and I'm jumping there. So I feel like having order and working, or basically moving towards that one goal, that one plan, it kind of it brings peace because my thought process is not all over the place. Right. One. And then two, it's not as stressful because you could be stressed out about a bunch of things, whatever. But when you sit down and when you make a plan, or when you have some type, just a small potential organization, it can decide as far as your decision making. Because when you're all over the place, you might not make the right decision at the time because you don't have time to sit down and process. Right. You don't have time to think about how the pros and cons, how it's going to benefit you, what's the negative impact. So, right. Yeah.
Got you. Because I can relate whenever you said it, I can do multiple things, and I always tell them, listen, I'm a multitasker, right? But I can be doing a lot of stuff at once, but I'm ultimately working towards the same goal. Right. And it's mainly once I hit those barriers that I have to pivot. So now it seems like, I just dropped this to pick up this, but it's like I had to pivot because this isn't working out, but I'm still working towards the same goal. So I can relate to you on that. As far as me, what helps me, I guess, maintain peace of mind, I think the biggest, and I could think back to my time in the military, because I always, they call it military time in a way of counting, especially when we're on rotation or deployed. So I would always think that if I was in a routine, the time would be moving faster. So if I knew what I was doing, you ever felt like that?
Yes, the routine helps the time. It flows by so much smoother.
I feel like if I know what I'm doing at the same time every day, I'm only looking for, and don't get me wrong, it's still 24 hours in a day, but I think I'm not necessarily focused on the full 24 hours. Cause then when I went on my very first rotation in the military, I used to be 24 hours in a day, I got to sleep at least 6 to 7 hours. I got this amount of hours left. What am I going to be doing for this hour? I wake up at 6. Okay, we got an hour PT. I would break down my day every day because it was I'm ready to go. And it was my first time away from home. And then after I got into the habit of it, I realized that the routine makes it seem like the day's going by faster, simply because I'm not necessarily focused on the full 24 hours. I'm just focused on getting to the next thing that I'm gonna be doing in maybe 2 or 3 hours. So and so it definitely helped in that way. So I realized the benefit of a routine and a structure when I was in the military. So the next question.
Yes, the military definitely.
Listen,
it helped me a little bit when it comes to structure. Because we was constantly. Not only was we constantly moving, but we was reaching one goal, finished that, this and that. But and time was you're not worried about time
at all.
You got something you're doing.
Yeah,
you got something you're working towards. So,
and they call it organized chaos in the military. So,
and when you look back on it after you done completed, you're like, man. I did that and didn't even know
listen, but you get so much stuff done in a day. Right. And then when it comes to the end of the week, you're like, we done did everything under the sun. It's crazy. So next question would be, what's something in your life you've ordered quote unquote order that has made a big difference to your mental health?
A big difference to my mental health.
Yeah, something that you probably like organize or just have it is going smoothly and it's just like a weight off your shoulders.
Oh, okay. That organizing. Okay, let's see. One thing in my life would probably be that I ordered. I feel like the relief of. Can I talk about women?
Yeah. This safe space.
I feel like the
talk
relief
about
of
it.
having multiple. I had women.
Okay.
I felt like it was the relief
Player.
of, yeah. Getting. I was
Yeah.
back in the day.
Talk about it.
Yeah, I was. So I feel like I had multiple women. I had
It's okay.
10 went back in the day. I had them growing up. I
Yeah.
had them in my early 20s, and then it's like I never realized how much of a stress or I guess headache, how much they would stress me.
Ooh.
Until like physically I was drained. Mentally I was drained. I couldn't think right. I wasn't able to focus on what I was doing. I wasn't able to, as I mentioned earlier, grow because I was too busy chasing women. Yeah. But when I also when I had my second son.
Okay.
Because that was a part of the whole having women process.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you gotta slow down.
you gotta have a couple more.
You gotta slow down because you don't want to get a bus. I'm good with a car right now. I'm good with a car. I ain't trying to get no van. I ain't trying to do none of that. So
need the sedan. When
I sat down and realized, okay, these women mess with my mental health. They stressing me out. Because I'm chasing them, trying to meet needs with one, meet needs with the other. I was like, okay, I gotta let them go.
Right.
I gotta let them go. So I started letting them go. I started being alone a lot more. And I started figuring out myself. And it was just like, when I say stress was relieved, I was able to do my hobbies. I was able to do, because I wasn't worried about them or worried about them coming over. Right. I feel like that's what, and to this day, is like, now I can maneuver a lot more. I don't have a lot of stress because of women. Gotcha. Whatever. If anything, it's good stress that's going on right now. So I feel like that might be it.
Was that part of being the cool RJ? Like, having the multiple women, or
that was that foolish RJ, man. That was that foolish. Yeah, that was the cool RJ right there.
Cool. Hey, I'm not a nerd. I got women.
It was me and my homies. It's like they like you got all these women over here, this and that. We talking about, that's all we talking about, women. Right. We weren't talking about growing, and we weren't talking about like anything positive, to be honest with you. Right. So yeah, that was the cool RJ. That was the cool. Now I'm chilling. I got there's too much going on. Right now.
Listen. You in what city?
Man, I'm in McDonald. I'm in McDonald right now. I'm in McDonald, but I'm about to move back towards Riverside Parkway. Okay. Which is by Six Flags. But
okay.
Yeah, it's that area. I'm done. I'm damn sure go sit down. So I ain't got time.
Look.
I'm trying to get married, bro.
Ladies, RJ is trying to get married.
Yeah, y'all heard that.
All right. How does having control over small parts of your life impact your overall well-being?
Because once you control a small part or something small, you have to catch it before it becomes a big thing. True. So if you have control of it while it's little, it can't become a major issue.
That's true.
That's how I look at it. So.
And that can be applied to this talk about control and everything like that, but that can be applied to issues, like certain issues, like sweeping things under the rug. And a lot of people like to say, well, it's not that big of a deal, but let's still first address it so it doesn't grow. You know what I mean?
First person. Like,
talk about it.
I used to get aggravated internally. I'd be mad, and I'm like, I want to say what I want to say, which I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give you a recent thing when I was in Africa. Okay, I had issues with. I hope you see this too. I had issues with my chief, and I just let it, cause military. It's all about rank. It's all about If they I don't care if they're younger than you. If they rank higher than you, then I guess they get more respect. Yeah, they don't respect the airman. Right. So of course I'm an airman, or whatever. So I was like, man, I really want to slap this man. I want to slap this man. Like,
want to take it to the streets. He's taking it to the woodline, guys.
In my head, I'm thinking that's where I guess the becoming an adult and actually thinking before reacting. In my head, I'm thinking, if you slap this man, what you gonna get out of it? Or what's gonna put you?
Yeah.
If I'd have did that, I probably wouldn't be in my IT job today.
True.
It wouldn't have been like I'd have been probably kicked out of the military.
And the chain reaction that happens after the fact of not really thinking through like your actions, because think about it, like you said, I might not have the job that I have. I might not be in the military. Now both of these directly affect your kids. You get what I'm saying? Like your living, like everything.
Probably in distress. To be honest with you, so now I got to go back and do what rest stuff I don't want to do.
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
So it definitely, I get it.
That was definitely an example. Man, when I tell you I want to fire that man up, I want to fire that man up.
They used to say, because I was Army, he's Air Force, guys. They tell us when we was in basic and we'll get mad, that's the breaking process. So in basic, they get mad like, oh, you want to take it to the wood line? It's pretty much like fighting words.
No, they ain't say that in the Air Force.
That's what they say in the Army. You want to take it to the wood line? That's fighting words.
They ain't say that. That's like teddy bears now compared to y'all.
Now they gonna let you fight. They gonna tell you where to hit and where not to hit, and then like handle like men and get over it. Men and women and get over it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of glad I learned the reaction, like as far as why I am, because also I used to box. I boxed for 2.5 years. That helped me control. I had anger management.
Did that help you?
That helped me control it.
Now, were you referred to go to boxing, or that was just your way of like, I like this?
I had to find. I played like I ain't played organized basketball, but I played basketball in my spare time. To get some energy out. I had to find something that caught my interest. I used to like watching boxing.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I should try it. Whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. Boxing can be expensive.
Yeah.
And it can be hard, and it's tiring, but it teaches you a lot of discipline.
Okay.
It teaches you a lot of discipline as far as like reactions and consequences. So that was one of the best 2.5 years I did. I was like, man, because I ain't, like I said, I probably wouldn't be here today.
So can you say, you said it taught you a lot of discipline and how to react. Can you say that helped you organize some portions of your life?
Yes.
How so?
I can say that because without discipline, like how I said, you're gonna stumble over obstacles. You're gonna run into stuff that's out of your control, and you're gonna try. Some people try to control it, or they try. You have to be disciplined enough to sit back and like basically evaluate, like look over what's going on. Yeah. See what, like I said before, pros and cons. Figure out what's gonna happen if you make that move. Yeah. So. As far as like discipline, like I was doing a little trouble stuff back then.
Okay.
And it made me think. Boxing makes you think. It makes you think.
Yeah. You're thinking through being tired. Still got to make the right.
Being tired, but it's a strategic game.
Okay.
So you have to think before you react.
Okay.
That's how I compare it, like both or whatever. Like that's how I compare it to as far as being in that ring versus being like in real life. You have to think before you react.
Definitely.
Or you gonna lose. You gonna fail. So
yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're moving into the take control portion of the episode. Right. And so this is pretty much like a reflective, interactive game. So you guys out there, viewers watching, you guys can take part. So for the first one, it's Control A, and as you're familiar with, Control A on the keyboard allows you to highlight everything on the screen, really. So Control A in the podcast is what highlights stood out to you the most from our conversation.
What highlights stood out? I will say. You talking about in general?
Yeah, just like what stood out to you?
What stood out to me
during the conversation?
Your answers to the questions.
What?
Because I'm getting like a. I don't want to be a gender.
No, you good.
I'm getting a woman's perspective versus how a man would answer the question.
Right.
Because I watch all kind of stuff and I try to get both sides and stuff. So I don't know. I felt like that stood out the most because you had some interesting answers.
Yeah. So have you ever had, I guess, a conversation like this with a person of opposite sex? Like, I kind of guess like a more deep conversation, because a lot of people can be like, real topical, but here at Insider Threat, we like to go a little bit under the surface.
As far as a more deep conversation,
yeah, no, really.
I've had I guess you could say deep conversations to a certain extent, but there's always where you just kind of push it off to the side. You don't go as far as like you're not digging too deep. You just touch on it and then go on about your business. But I haven't had like a real true deep conversation with the opposite sex.
Yeah, because that's why I like to have conversations like this, right? Simply because for me, everything has to make sense. Like I gotta get some understanding, and it's a part of my process of keeping everything structured and ordered for me. Not necessarily saying that it looks organized to somebody else, but for me, it makes sense. So like I said, and I always say, like, things got to make sense. So I like to ask some questions and then hear the response, especially like when I'm interacting with people just everyday life, whether that's somebody trying to holler or, you know, just moving about. I like to ask these questions, just not specifically related to this topic, but just kind of like a deeper question in general, simply because it helps me kind of navigate, okay, how do I deal with this person? Where do I place you? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? On a day to day, you know what I mean? Like, because I gotta organize people too.
I mean, I ask questions, but like I said, I don't never dig too deep, but
gotcha.
I kind of watch your reaction to the questions. Like,
see
how you answer certain questions.
Gotcha. Okay. So the next one is Control C. Control C on the keyboard allows you to copy whatever you've highlighted. So as it relates to the episode, what quotes or insights are you taking with you?
I'm taking with me as far as like, sometimes I guess I go back and reflect on that.
Okay.
Like what would I be today if I didn't make that change? If I didn't have some type of structure, if I had kept moving the way I was moving. Type stuff. So
okay, I got you.
So
it's about the decisions you made to kind of better yourself and position yourself to set your kids up for a better future.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, man. They're my babies right there. So
now, have there like, do you take them back to like your hometown, kind of like where you grew up, or like and stuff like that?
About that, I don't.
Okay.
Take them like where I went to, as far as like from like maybe 3rd grade to 10th grade.
Okay.
I'll take them back there. That's where my mom lived. That's where my sister lived. But as far as my high school, it's a little drug head town.
Gotcha.
So I don't
to protect them.
Yeah.
Hey, shield them from that.
They still in the same spot. Like I said that they was when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So there's no growing down there.
Ooh, okay.
And so anybody, it's a town called Bowden, Georgia. It's right next to.
I don't think I ever heard that.
I went back and forth there. I left and went back. I was there at first.
Yeah.
I was like 5, 6. Then I moved to the other side of Douglasville, and then I don't know why. I went back down there 10th grade. I still live in Douglasville, but I was driving back and forth.
Okay.
I put a lot of stress on my mom. As far as
did you because you wanted to go back?
They wanted me to come play football there.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
My mom, she was okay with it, but I could tell it was kind of stressing her out. So it got to a point where I was like just staying with my cousin during the week and then going home on the weekends.
Gotcha.
Which that was still stressing her out because she was worried about me. Yeah. I didn't have no rules when I was in my house. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like even from a youth, you were very observant, and you were always, although it seems unstructured or unorganized, it seemed like you were always trying to make sense of things, like being able to identify, okay, this is stressing my mom out, okay, I'm gonna go and move back. You know what I mean? That's bringing order and peace for your mom. You know what I'm saying? Although it might not have been, you know, because being young in the spotlight, you get what I'm saying? Being young in the spotlight, you like, hey, they calling my name in the stands. I'm eating. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people will feed into that, but you were looking at it from like, I'm like literally just taking a toll with my mama. Like,
yeah, I was stressing her out because I wasn't driving in 10th grade until like later on that year, whatever.
Yeah,
and she had to get up early. She worked in Carrollton, which is like on the way, probably like 15-20 minutes from there.
Yeah.
So she had to get up early, drop me off with my other cousin, then go from there and go down. And then she had to come pick me up. It was just like, I could tell it was putting a stress on her or whatever. Sometimes she had some car issues. I was just like, man, okay. I was like, I didn't want to stay down there. I was like, if I'm going to go to school down here, I might as well just go ahead and stay during the week. So,
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I kind of.
It's a good son, ladies. Oh, okay. So finally, it's Control V, which allows you to paste whatever you highlighted and copied So as it relates to the episode, Control V is, what will you be applying to your life moving forward? Out of what we talked about, what would you be applying to your life?
I guess having more structure, because like I told you, I'm working on time management right now.
Yeah,
like I got my mind on I got my mind. It's straight.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't want to move. I don't have the energy to move.
So what are you doing to kind of help assist you in getting better with your time management?
Okay, what I'm doing right now is, like I told you, I'm back in school.
Okay.
So, I was in my master's program and I was failing. I was failing classes and I had realized I was paying for it or whatever. So I was like,
definitely was paying for it.
Wasting money. Just handing you folks money. So it's like,
because they gonna take it.
My thing was I wasn't applying any type of, I wasn't trying. I didn't have any type of will to do it.
Yeah.
But I knew I wanted to do it.
Right.
So that's where time management came in, where I could set aside time to study, set aside time to study for this cert, or then I have to have time for, of course, my children. And like I'm back and forth during the week, coming to Warner Robins 3 days a week.
Right.
And I be tired during the week, but now I gotta start going to bed because I be up all night at like 1:30, which is not good. That's why I'm trying to change it. I try to lay down a little earlier now, so I can have some energy to actually study and focus.
Gotcha.
Or whatever. So yeah, I'm trying to get better time management with it.
As long as you can identify it and make a conscious effort to make it better, I think you'll be fine. So as a recap, we've talked about the power of creating order and how structure can help us regain control and peace in chaotic times. So a couple of reflective questions that I have is, what's one area in your life that you're going to work on ordering first? I know we talked about, having that conversation again with your kids' mothers. Are you gonna address that first, or we gonna go with the time management first?
I'm gonna have to sit them two down and tell them, look, y'all, something gotta be.
Listen,
like, don't get me wrong, I get them both on the same weekend, once a month or whatever, or not once a month.
So do you drive 45, get one, and go the other way to get the other, and then go back home?
Usually, sometimes I meet them.
Okay.
Meet them halfway, but I know that they have them during the week.
Yeah,
because I'll be back and forth down here.
Okay.
So a lot of times I just drive up there and get them.
Gotcha.
So
appreciative.
Yeah. I don't want them going way out their way. They holding it down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And just until I move closer. When I move closer, oh yeah, they're gonna be at my house. Yeah.
That makes sense. So we getting the kids in order first.
Yes.
We order the
kids get in order first. Because
your house gotta be in order first. That's true.
House gotta be in order first. That's true. On me. So
yeah, that's true. All right. So the next question is, how will you make space for order amidst the noise?
Amidst the noise. So
I mean, if there's any noise that you're struggling with.
I don't feel like there's any noise. Okay. The only noise probably gonna be me. Me holding myself back. Like
that's true. That's good though.
Yeah, because I don't be out like that. I don't talk to people like that. I have social media.
Yeah.
I don't know to watch videos. I don't
and laugh.
If I look at my social media, I rarely post.
Right.
So I don't really listen to the outside noise. Like some people base their relationship, they base their life off of what they see on social media.
Yeah.
Like that. That's external chaos right there. Like, to me, it is.
Come on, it is. So, no, but it really is.
I'm not basing my life off that. I don't. That's why I try not to get on there and look at that. I watch many videos, like I said, and get off. And after that,
because you said a mouthful right there. A lot of people will base what they see on social media and base their life and how they structure and organize their life. They'll base it off what they see, and a lot of it is fake.
Yes, a lot of it staged for views.
Green screen.
Staged for views. They don't have no real conversations on there for real, or no, there ain't nothing real going on.
Yeah, everything's topical. Everybody wants to feel good, so everything's like, oh, you doing good, you doing it. Nobody wants to actually reflect and be like, no, I really want to address this so I can be better.
And like you said, everything fake. To me, from just watching videos and stuff like that, some stuff you see on there is not what you're gonna see in real life.
Facts.
That's not that's not the case. For me to speak on it, I don't speak too much on it.
Yeah.
That's their business, whatever. So I just mind my business, but I see it and acknowledge it and then go on. Push to the side. Okay.
That's all you got to do. That's how you got to do it, because even if you address it, if they're not ready to hear it, they're not going to receive it. And they're going to be ready to combat you. Yeah. Like sitting there like, come on, just come to the light. Just grasp hold to the truth, please.
Yeah. Social media trick.
Look.
Social media trick. I used to be social media heavy though. Now.
Look.
When I was young.
I'm getting better. I'm on there for like business purposes.
Right.
But like whenever I'm heavy on Facebook. I just like to share funny stuff. I like to laugh. I just like to
share
laugh.
it, but I'll watch some funny videos.
I'm going to share it.
And get up off there. So
I get up off there.
Yeah.
Well, although you said you seldom use social media, where can the people find, follow, and connect with you online?
Are they just networking?
I mean, if they want to follow you, want to connect.
If they want to follow me, I mean, I say get on Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook. I got Instagram, but I don't be on it. So
okay.
I mean,
what's your name on Facebook?
Ricky Protho.
Ricky Protho.
You're gonna see about 3 of them because my pop's on there, and he got the same name as me. So you're gonna tell the difference, but we look just a little darker.
Yeah,
and he got about 3 or 4 Facebook pages too.
Oh.
He older, so you know.
He been forgetting his password.
Old people don't know password.
Oh my gosh! Somebody has to teach them how to change a password.
Yeah, they just make a new one and keep going. But yeah, probably Facebook, Instagram.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, both at Ricky Protho.
Yeah.
Okay, on Facebook and
Instagram. RJ Protho.
Okay, RJ Protho.
And Facebook, Ricky.
Okay.
LinkedIn, if you want to get on.
Okay. Professionals.
If you want to go to LinkedIn,
you know, this is a senior system administrator on the way to pursue a master's degree in cybersecurity and information assurance.
If you want to get on
professionals.
But that's business.
Right.
I'm trying to talk to me on there.
Right.
I'm trying to talk to me on LinkedIn. I ain't gonna
professionals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's on Ricky Protho, right?
Yeah, Ricky Protho.
On LinkedIn. Okay, well, that's all for today, folks. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode with some of your peers and friends if it's blessed you. Follow the podcast at Insider Threat TV on all platforms. You can follow me at I'm Gravy. That's Gravy with 3 Y's on Instagram. And on that note, I say protect your peace, audit your code, and as always, logging off for now. Your web tip of the day is coming up.